All right, Eagles Power Hour fans. Guys, this is an exciting episode right now. We are with the Big Sky champion, coach of the year, whatever you want to call him, Mr. Coach Shante Legans. We're going dancing, man. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on. I like you. I love being on your show. All my guys like it. They listen to it. So you got at least, I can tell you got at least 23 followers that make sure they
Hey,
listen to you all the time.
if it's 23 followers and it's your whole team, I'm happy that that's the only followers we have. No,
Yeah,
I'm totally
nah,
cool with that.
you, you got some more than that, but I know they like listening to your show. A couple other guys talk about them being on your show, so that's pretty good. It's pretty funny.
Yeah. You guys have been, a fun team to watch, fun team to cover this whole year, and even last year when we started. So once we brought on Rusty on board, we really wanted to focus on basketball. And I mean, what a year to really focus on basketball last year. And then we had, the disappointment of not being able to play in March Madness. Now, guess what? We're here. We're here. We get to do the thing.
Man, I feel for the two seniors we had last year. They didn't get to experience this, or at least have the chance to be told they can't by losing. And so, we think about them and talk about them a lot. And so yeah, it's one of those deals where we came out and this whole season was we got to make sure we're doing it for them, and that started going from doing it for them to playing for this year's team. It's a different team. Every year is a different year, and I talked to our guys about that, and I'm very open about, what we need to do, how the team is, and, what needs to happen, and what will make us good. And I told Tanner, hey, you got to be better than Mason was. I told, Kim, you have to be a better version of yourself. I told Jacob, you got to play better than you did, and we had other guys step up like Mike Meadows. He stepped up in a big way. Jack's been the same since he's gotten here, it seems like. I think he's just moved into a coaching position more than anything else. Well, he's a player's coach, so he's on the floor coaching while playing, so it makes life easy. But you ask everybody to step up. You ask the assistant coaches, now it's your time to do more, And so everyone stepped up and did more than they did last year. Jacob, we get a lot of questions about, well, what happened? He stepped up as a leader more than he's ever had this year. And, coming off injuries and coming off sickness and the team playing really well and him understanding, hey, I can go get 20, 25 points, whenever I need to, but I need to do what's best for the team right now. And they've all stuck to their roles, and they've all understood exactly how important, getting to this moment was. And, I have friends. I've told these guys. I've had friends in the coaching business who are my mentors. They've been coaching for 30 plus years. They've never played or coached an NCAA tournament. They've been to them. They've hung out at the Final Four and did different things, but they've never coached or played in one. And what these guys have had a chance to do the last 3 years now, well, barring last year, the last 2 years before that, I mean, they played in conference tournament championships back-to-back years, and that's a lot to be said, to get to that moment and be right there, and then the next year, do what you need to do and control everything you can control and win a championship during the league, and then stuff that's out of your hands gets taken away. You didn't lose or anything, and so
Right.
it doesn't leave a bitter taste in your mouth, but it leaves a little bit of a disappointment, a little bit of what if, what could have happened, especially with that team, with Mason. And now this year it's like, hey, we got to that championship week and we call it championship week. And I think, we got a little ahead of ourselves thinking about how we're going to cut the nets down, what shirts we're going to wear, all this kind of stuff. And, human nature. And, I
Right.
think losing that game on Wednesday really made us better for the next week. And it got us prepared for the way the teams were going to play us. And they played us that way. They held the ball. They played physical. They didn't play, a fun style of basketball. They held the ball, and we were prepared for that because that's what we lost to it against Idaho State, and that left it was like a gut punch. And so, for us to be able to come back that next day on Thursday, prepare for Friday, and come out with the performance we had Friday, and then settle down and then come back out, we got a great draw.
Yeah.
You know, Southern Utah had a tough draw. It seemed like
Yeah,
they
they
had the
did.
lower seed. I mean, not saying that the teams we played weren't any good, but Northern Colorado's a tough team set. They play tough teams, and then obviously Montana State gave them all they were looking for and a little bit more. And so it was a good draw for us. And then for the teams, like for Montana to beat Weaver, I wanted to play Weaver. I
Right.
wanted to play the best. I wanted to see where we were at because people kept saying, "Oh, well, Weaver can score. Weaver can do this," but when we look at the Big Sky stats, we have better stats than Weaver, and we had better stats than all these schools that are supposedly be the top schools in our league. We just didn't play as many, non-conference games as they did. And so
Right.
when you just add up the Big Sky games, I mean, we average 85 points a game. So, and in different types of deals like that. So it was a good year, and I was happy the way it ended.
Yeah, for sure. Let's talk a little bit about this year, just because this year was so different compared to anything anyone's ever prepped for. And I mean, you look at the out of conference schedule that Eastern Washington had. I mean, Washington State, we played 6 people on the court. When has that
Yeah.
ever happened in the NCAAs? Then we go right to Arizona. We go to Oregon, and everything's changing simultaneously. It's like we have to be on our toes. We didn't know who we were playing. It seems like a few days, 48 hours from now. Now we're jumping on a flight going to Arizona. I mean, when you look at this out of conference schedule, this thing was gnarly, and we had multiple games versus Pac-12 versus St. Mary's, who's a perennial tournament caliber team. I mean, Eastern Washington did not look like the typical Big Sky school that people are talking about. You played some good ball versus all these teams, and you put us in a position. All the players put us in a position to actually get a W at the end of this. We were not a rollover team, and we played the toughest out of conference schedule.
Yeah, we weren't a rollover team, but we did miss free throws and turn it over in the last 5 minutes of each of those games. It was heartbreaking. We had games won. The wild thing is we had the ball in our hands with a chance to win against Washington State, our first game of the year. Kyle Smith is an unbelievable coach. He's got that program going in the right direction. So Cougar fans be happy, even though I'm not a Cougar fan. But Cougar fans be happy. He's done a great job with the guys that recruited. With the guys they're bringing in. And so going into there and playing the game we played and watching how they played this year. Now, they had some COVID hits and they had some things happen to them during their league play, so that it makes them look a little bit makes that team look a little different than what it is. But but we were right there with them. We had the ball. Yeah. We were, I think, either down one or tied, and we got a call that was 80-20 call where it should have been 80% our way and 20% the other way, but sometimes it happens like that. The crowd was going wild, I guess. Jumped all on the referee's back. There's no crowd there, but I don't know what happened. But it was a game, and it taught us a lot of things in that game. It taught us that you can't have 16 turnovers and give up offensive rebounds and miss free throws. You can't do that to win a game against that team. And so, from that point, our free throw percentage got better. We focused in on that, and then you go down, and after that game, you go play Arizona. And it's like, okay, well, we leave the next day after losing a game like that. We got to go play Arizona, and it's just on the fly because we were supposed to play another team, but that our non D1 team got COVID, so we said we have no game. Let's go play another game. And instead of trying to find another non D1, Arizona called, and who doesn't want to go play Arizona? Who doesn't want to go do that? And the players wanted to. And throughout this whole thing, it wasn't just me saying, "Hey, this is what we're going to go do, guys. This is how it's going to happen." I'd sit down and say, "Hey, do you guys want to go play this game? I know you guys just got done playing. You tired? Do you want to put yourself on the plane and do all this stuff?" And they were always, "Yeah, let's go play." So we go down, we get ready for Arizona. Again, last 5 minutes of the game, we're winning. We're playing great. Arizona gets a couple extra teammates down the stretch. And, it happens where, again, we have the ball in our hands. We turn it over. We have a layup. We try to kick it out for 3 to try to tie it up. We could have took the layup and went and foul. But again, another learning experience. And, we lose that game, but we're in that game. We feel good about it. And no one feels good about losing, but we feel like we're getting better. The results isn't, it's not showing we're getting better. It's just, you're hearing from, they're saying this is the best 0-2 team in the country, right? And I'm like, man, that's not a good sound. That doesn't sound right, And we're actually in the airport, headed back to Cheney, and we get a call from Oregon, and Oregon says, "Hey, would you like to play a game?" Because that was supposed to be our first game of the year versus Oregon, and they wanted to get us back on the schedule again. These coaches, man, they were unbelievably, they were kind and gracious. They were trying to help us out. We said, "Yeah." I said, "Let me talk to our guys. Let me call you right back. We're in the airport right now. Let's see what they want to do." I said, "All right, guys. Here's the scenario. We land in Cheney, we test, and then we get on a bus and drive to Eugene. What, can we fly?" I said, "We cannot fly. We have to bus." "How long is that bus ride?" 8 hours.
Yep.
8 hours on a bus. "All right, coach, let's go do it. It's Oregon. Let's go play Nike." And so it's like, get on the bus, we travel. Takes 8 hours. We get off the bus, we shoot, we go to bed, we wake up, and we play the next day at 4. And so the season was crazy. It was a lot of fun. We learned a lot about ourselves. We spent a lot of time with each other. I got to know the players different. So as an assistant coach, I'm a lot different than as a head coach. So, as a head coach, you don't get as many of those, fun, quirky, weird conversation. Coach, I have a girlfriend. Coach, guess what just happened? You don't get those. You don't have those. Those are all for Bobby, TJ, and Dave, and our GAs and managers now. And I miss out on those. I miss out on those talks and those, that camaraderie you sometimes get as being being an assistant and getting a lot of that information. And so, but being on these trips and being around the guys, you get to hear a little bit more. They start loosening up a little bit more around you, which was awesome. The only part was I was away a little bit from my family, but that's just the part for the course, because if I was recruiting or anything like that, it'd be the same thing. So, but she also came to some games and got to spend some time. So my wife did, and so it was a challenging season, but at the same time, I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about the team. I learned a whole bunch about coaching. I got better as a coach this year, not just the X's and O's part, but the managing moods, the understanding when guys are having physical tolls on their bodies, but more mentally than anything else. And I think I got better as a coach. I did a lot more reading than I ever thought I would be during the season, just not about hoops, but just about different types of things, leaderships, and had some great ideas, especially the rest of the game, a couple good ideas about books on leadership, and you check those out. And it's just get a little bit more time to focus on yourself, even though we're during season and we're watching a lot of film. There's a lot of bus riding time where you can't watch film for 8 hours straight, and so it was challenging, but at the same time I thought it was very rewarding because we got to spend time with each other. I got to know a little bit more about my assistants. I got to know, it was just better in a sense that you got to get to know your team and your players a little bit more than you have in the past.
Yeah, no, I mean, you can definitely see that team chemistry throughout this whole tournament, throughout the whole season. I mean, the announcers say it, every single game. This Eastern Washington teams, they bring their own energy. And I think that's just the chemistry you guys have. And I want to touch base on that, bring your own energy, in a few minutes when we talk about this upcoming game versus Kansas. But I still want to talk a little bit about this regular season, because overall, this was, again, a really tough out-of-conference schedule. A lot of different changes happened throughout the whole season. I mean, I don't remember another time in Eastern Washington history where even the losses, every single game outside of Oregon, we were in it with still 45 seconds left, 30 seconds left. I think it's only Oregon. That's the only loss that was above a 5-point loss or something like that. Every single game, we were fighting and grinding until the very end. And then that month of February, man, I don't think I have seen any Eastern Washington athletics team have a month like you guys had. I'm not just talking about the basketball team. I'm talking about football. I'm talking about everything. The month of February was pure dominance from your team. What was going on through that February month? Because I've never seen us play at that level ever.
We hit streaks, and we do it all the time. Every year I've been a head coach, we've hit a streak. We've hit 8, 9 games. 9 games I think was the highest so far. But the year before we was at 8 before, it got canceled going into the tournament. The year before that we were on 7 before we went to the tournament. Then we won those 3. And so you look and you want to be peaking at the right time. And it's hard this year because you didn't have the chance to tinker and to figure out who plays best in this situation, who plays best in that. So a lot of it was on the fly. And what happened was, early in the season, we kept getting delays, or somebody was getting sick, or somebody was getting, we played Southern Utah right out of quarantine, and they coming in here with I think they had 11 or 12 games. I don't know what they had, winning streak, and they were feeling great. And our team just got out, and I didn't know what we were going to get. Our team came out and played terrific defense, and played a great game. Then we came back on the next day, and we were up 70 minutes of that whole weekend. And, besides the last 10 minutes when Tanner got in foul trouble and we decided to put them on the line, again, we decided to put them on the line 28 times. We're not calling the fouls, but we put them on the line 28 times in 10 minutes. They went from 60 to 99. And it's just like, how's that possible, But it was possible because they earned it. Southern Utah played great. They got to the basket. They put us in foul trouble. We didn't protect the basket. So that was the learning lesson. We were up to, again, it all comes back to these games that we played early that really helped us. And then we come back and, we get off the plane. We go to Northern Colorado, and it might be the biggest foul of the season, but it was not a horrible thing that happened. It was, we were disappointed we lost, but we had to try something different. We had to figure out, hey, what's going to help us win right now? What's going to put us in that position? And so we said, hey, let's try Mike this next game, and give him more minutes than we've had before, and and he played great, and the team played great defense, and we beat Northern Colorado. Then we came back home, and we got hit with COVID, and so we had to sit. We were feeling good about ourselves. We thought okay, we figured this out. We figured something out, and let's just keep figuring it out. And so we were excited to practice on Monday, and we get told Saturday, hey, you guys can't practice or anything for 7 days because you have to pass your test. And I'm like, well, how's that? What's that mean? And that means you're going to miss Sacramento State games. And I'm like, well, man, we're 2-2. That's not good. I'm thinking, holy smokes, we're in trouble here, because I knew we had to win. I knew we only could lose 3 games at the most if we wanted a chance to win the league. And so I'm like, we're at 2 games. We're right where we need to be, and we're in our second. But last year we were 2-2 to start the league too.
Yeah,
we lost to Weber. I would know we lost to Idaho State, and then we turned around and lost to somebody else. I think it was right after that. And so we were 2-2 in that league last year, and so we went on that run again. But we said, okay, we're done. Jack's out, one of our leaders, and we turned around and we couldn't practice or see each other. The first time we saw each other was Saturday night, the day before the game. And so all we did was shoot. We came back and played Sac State. We played them Sunday, Monday, and we played really, really good. Mm-hmm. And from that point on, I think our team started to gel. They started to understand. It was their second time in quarantine, so I thought they worked out and did a little bit more. And that really prepared us to be really good. And they played hard. I mean, they were playing for each other. After a while, I kept telling them, hey, you guys are going to end up playing. This is how it's going to end up. You guys will be here. And before you knew it, we didn't lose a game in February. And we were beating teams by 14, 15 points. And, it could have been, I'm not trying to sound cocky or anything, but it could have been worse because I was subbing guys out with 7, 8 minutes to go in the game to get other guys some experience and playing time. So I'm playing, freshmen that, weren't expected to play. I'm playing guys that weren't expected to play while we're up 28, 29 points. And, it turns around and it looks like, they only won by 16, 18 points. But, I'm getting guys experience. I want guys to be able to play. So if something happens with COVID or something, those guys wouldn't be just thrown into the fire. And so, I was looking more towards if something happened here and there while, not understanding the net as much. Like you got to win, you got to beat teams by as many points as possible to go higher in the net, and it didn't matter who we're playing. But at the end of the day, all that net stuff and all that jazz sometimes doesn't mess with us. And, we just got to win our games. But it was a great month of February. I mean, our guys played terrific. I also went vegan that month. My wife made me go vegan that month. And so our basketball operations and coaching staff were crazy because I could only eat certain stuff. And I was right on it the whole month, and so, I never lost a game vegan. So I might be thinking about that in the future.
I was going to say, are we starting vegan in Indianapolis?
No, not. Maybe I might start now that I just said that out loud. It sounds right. So I might have to.
No jinx in this, man.
I might have to go that route.
Yeah. So now we're going to the Big Sky tournament. We are, a 2 seed. Southern Utah, they got it because this was a weird season. They just ended up getting another win. Yeah. But I'm in a Big Sky conference chat with all the other podcasters. We try and coordinate some things. We do some episodes together. Cool. So all of them at the end of this tournament, for one, they all said Eastern Washington was the best team all year. Yeah. They all gave you props. And I wanted to let you know that, people from Montana, Montana State, Southern Utah, Weber, they're all saying congrats to you. I at least wanted to let you know that everyone's rooting for you in the Big Sky. They all seem to really like you. They think you're charismatic. Maybe they want you gone soon, but that's just because of how good you are.
Just got to be nice, man. It's basketball. Yeah. It's fun. You got to have fun with it. I sent the text out to all the coaches in the Big Sky. Now, since I've been in the league, I've never gotten one, but I said, hey, fellas, if you guys got any ideas on beating Kansas, so who you could put me in contact with to help win, I could talk about this game. You get a good response. Obviously, sometimes the games get heated. And you have fun. You're doing everything for your team to have fun and play, but you're a competitor at the end of the day. And you get you sometimes get after it with the other coach. You have a good time, and it's a lot of fun. And I like to be in those battles with the team. It's a players program for us. It's all about the players. Whatever they want. If it's the right thing to do, we're going to do it. And I want them to feel great. This was unbelievable. And we always want to go places, and it sounds corny or whatever, and it sounds like this, but we're picking up after ourselves in locker rooms. We want to leave it better than it was. I saw like 6-7 years ago, I think it was Army. They came in, they had a game somewhere, they left the place, spotless. And then somebody tweeted about it. I never forgot that. So I was like, okay, we'll do the same thing. Let's make sure we clean up. We're in the ballroom or the dinner room, and we're finishing up meals, and Kim Aiken is like, hey guys, no, we got to clean up, and everyone's leaving, coaches included. Coaches, no, we got to make sure we help clean this up, and it's good karma. You got to make sure you're doing this, and so we have a great bunch of guys, and I think it makes everything easier, and we don't take ourselves too seriously. Obviously, when we're on the court, we play with everything we got. It's a series we want to win more than anybody, or just as much as anybody, but when you're off the court and even on the court, you got to have fun. I always will believe that. I think if you're having fun and you're comfortable, that's when you're playing your best. When you're nervous and you're on edge, obviously that you have to be on some kind of edge to be good. Like Kim Aiken is always, teetering that line. Tanner Groves is right there teetering that line too. But at the same time, they're having a lot of fun. You see them smiling. Even when the game's a 4-point, 2-point game, they're smiling, having a good time. I'm not, but they are. Hey, coach, relax. We got this. We'll go win this game. And I go, okay, sure, you just missed 2 free throws. We ain't going to win the game. Come on, you better play some beat, But we have a great rapport, and the coaching staff has been great with the guys all year long. I think there's a great trust there. There's a great bond. And, we really pride ourselves on when people tell us things about our team that is more off the court. Like you have some really well-mannered guys. It's great to have them. The South, we get on flights and I have flight attendants, stopping me and saying, hey, you guys are so great today. They had no issues. I really appreciate it. We've had teams and they start going down that route. And I say, it's just something that, we do. We want to make sure that we're always looked upon as a classy group. Obviously there's some trash talking on the court. There's some this and that. But after the games, we really try our best to be as classy, be as personable, be a team that people want to be around and root for more than anything else. And I hope we've done that. I hope I've shown our guys, that's the way you need to do it, because, you can't do something really good and then be a jerk about it,
sure.
Because people won't like you and then they just want you to lose. You'd rather be a winner with people wanting you to win. It makes it a lot better, and it makes people feel they're involved, which they are. It's really important to have the support of everybody. If you listen to Tanner and you listen to our guys talk afterwards, that's what they talk about, is the support we have throughout, our community. Like people care. People email them. People send them pictures. Hey, can you sign this for me? This is a picture you took with my daughter after the game. This is a picture you took with my son. And those types of things are awesome. And, our guys are starting to understand, like, we're at Eastern, and people are starting to respect them a little bit more. And it's just something that, comes with winning, obviously, but it's also something with people that they care. They know that our guys care about their community and their school they're at. So they represent Eastern Washington with the utmost respect and try to do everything we possibly can to shine a good light on our university.
Well, I think you guys have definitely done that. I mean, you can definitely tell when you're off the field. I mean, all of our athletics program, even when we lost to North Dakota State in the national championship for football, I mean, we pose. There's a few football players who actually posed with some, North Dakota State kid fans who just wanted to come up and shake the opposing team's hand. I mean, that's just something we instill in all of our athletics. And I mean, prime example is, our football team, our basketball team, our women's team. I mean, it does make me happy as a fan to look at that. I mean, I'm one of those guys who definitely appreciates good smack talk when the game's going, even before. But once the game's done, I mean, it's all about respect, and you can definitely tell you guys instill that.
No, at the end of the day, that's what it is. You jab and you have some fun on Twitter and you do some things this way. You guys are loving it. I think it makes it better for entertainment for the fans. I really do. Some people might take it too seriously and say, oh, this is at the end of the day, you're having fun. Fans want to see it. I know I can tell you 100% Montana can't wait to play us next year. I'm going to tell you that right now. They can't wait. Southern Utah and Idaho State can't wait to play us next year. But you know what? Bring it. Bring the smoke, like the kids say. They go, you're going to try to beat us anyway, right? And so, they wanted to tweet that we, basically cough, and, and Southern Utah says cough, and, Idaho State says we got some cough drops for you, and so, hey, okay, that's great, terrific, it's great, that's awesome. Let's see what happens,
I love the little likes. Whenever
Yeah.
those comments from a Montana fan or anything like
Oh,
that, you just like it.
I like it all. I think it's great. I think it's something that sometimes gets passed up on because there's got to be that element that brings a little bit of more entertainment to the game.
Yeah,
You have to bring that, and it's entertainment. At the end of the day, it's entertainment. You
yeah,
want to win. You want to be the best school. You want your team to be. You want your sports team to be the best, but it's entertainment. You get people to come to the games because it's entertaining. You're not going to come watch a chess match. You can watch it online and see the end. It ain't the Queen's Gambit, which is a great show, but it ain't
great
that.
show.
You wanna be. It wants it to be entertaining. I want them to be like, oh yeah, they're going after Montana. Like, yeah,
Right.
we are. There's no joke. We are. You know, we hear the comments. The guys hear the interviews by the players, by the coaches. He hit us with Travis is a great coach. He's one of the best coaches in the country, not just our league, in the whole entire
Yeah,
country. And we get up for the game. I'm going to be honest. I get up for the game. I'm ready to go when I see Travis. I want to beat him.
yeah,
And I want to beat every coach. They're like, Coach, you don't like any of the coaches in the league. All the coaches are good dudes, man. But when it's game time, nah, I'm trying
yeah.
to win. And I hope they pick up on that. Like, I could be friends like for instance, Danny Sprinkle at Montana State. Well, he's a great dude.
Mm-hmm.
I'll compete against him all the time. We're talking before the game. I have no problem with him. I think it's great. And you get those things, and you just they don't, I just hope at the end of the day that we're doing it the right way. The players and the fans are seeing it, but it comes down to being entertaining. You want that aspect of it. I can promise you, when the fans are back in, the Montana Stadium will be packed, and that those
Yeah,
those tweets that got sent out both ways, speed bump this, put all the chips in the table here, yeah, all that stuff will be out. Southern Utah, I'm pretty sure the fans will be there for that game. I can promise you that.
yeah,
Idaho State, whoever knows what's going to happen in Idaho State, but the fans will be at least knowing what's going on, and that's the fun part about this whole thing. It's nothing malicious. You're not making fun of anybody. You're not doing that. You just have a little jab here and there, and that's the best part about this whole thing is it's sports. That's what sports is about. You want your team to be better than the other team, and you want to be the best trash talking team. You want to be the best Twitter. The guys love the Twitter. You want to have the best Instagram. It's all a race to be the best, and I'm hoping right now Eastern is the best in a lot of sports right
100%.
now. And I could say that Eastern's the best program in the Big Sky, all the way through all sports programs, and I don't mind saying it. I really do believe it. And you could say this, that, and the other, but the numbers don't lie. We're right there, and
Yeah,
we've been there. We've been in championship games, national championship games for football, when it's league championships for basketball. I mean, we're right there. Like, it's great. We're back-to-back champions, however you want to look at it. And
yeah,
we're representing the Big Sky this year, and that's awesome. And so, you take that, you play with pride, and you play with pride. And people who say, "Oh, well, you shouldn't say," well, why not? That's what you're going for. You want to be the best, and right now, I really do think our athletic department is the best athletic department in the Big Sky. Our soccer team's really good. Our volleyball team's
yeah,
coming up. Our women's hoop team made it to the conference championship 2 years ago. We're getting there. Like, we're getting there. And so, when you look at it and you're like, well, how do you guys do that? Because, like you said, we have good people here. We have great humans in our athletic department. It's just fun to be around. So I just, I we'll compete at anything, and
for
it's
sure.
fun. But at the end of the day, I respect every coach in this league. They're all really good coaches. This league is really tough.
Yeah,
All the way 1 through 11, all these coaches are smart. They all play different styles. There's not one team really that plays the same style of basketball in our league. So that makes things difficult. And it makes it a lot of fun for me to try to figure ways out to win games, but I'm pretty sure the other coaches feel the same way. So it's a lot of fun. You come play us, and then you play Idaho. It's 2 different games. You go play
for sure.
Weber State, and you got to play Idaho State, 2 different games. You go play Montana and Montana State, 2 different games. And so you got to be prepared every single game, night in, night out. It doesn't matter if you're playing Southern Utah, if you're playing Idaho. I mean,
Yeah,
Idaho didn't win a lot of games this year, but they were in a lot of games. And so,
yeah,
and this just happens to be bad luck this year for them. A couple games they could have beat Idaho State, but a buzzer, a 3-pointer at the buzzer by not a great 3-point shooter for some reason goes in. I mean, it just wasn't their
right.
year. And am I saying no, it's not. They were good 3.5 years. They were right with it. 3 years, they're second place in the Big Sky.
Yeah,
And so, you got to reload, and you got to get new players, and their program's on a little turnover because of you have new coach and players are in and out because of the new coach and all that kind of stuff. And, when coaches leave, players leave, and you have to reload. And so give them some time. Idaho will be back. Weaver State was back this year. You saw how good they were. And so
Yeah.
it makes the league a lot of fun. And we listen to your guys' podcast, and, we listen to all the other guys talk. I follow all those other beat writers and all those people that talk about podcast. I read their stuff. I like reading it. Sometimes give us motivation. Sometimes it's humbling. And, sometimes they say something that you never even thought about. And
Yeah.
you go, okay, that makes a lot of sense. And I just think it's fun. I'm not the only coach. I hope I'm not the only coach that does that, but I highly doubt it.
Well, it's at least noticed. And it's a good thing because our podcast network chat, they talk about it. They're like, ooh, Shantae's liking this. It's just good. I enjoy it.
Well, when they were showing me Carter Hollinger just dunking all over our guys and saying, we can't wait to get, come on, man. It's just like, you see, it's like, come on, man. I forwarded it to all our guys.
Yeah.
I go, this is what they think about you. Yeah, you guys lost by 30 last year.
Yeah.
And you didn't beat them. You didn't. Right. You didn't beat Montana. They beat you twice. I like when they say, well, not anybody was really in the rotation. Yeah, Carter Hollinger was. Vasquez was. Not a lot of guys were in our rotation either, I kept saying. Like,
right.
They were here, but not a lot of guys were in the rotation. We had Jacob and we had Kim, but not everybody, so.
For sure.
And they, I like it when they say they're a young team because we're pretty young too. And so
we don't lose much.
I keep saying the same thing they say. I'm just saying right back at them. We're young, you're young. Okay.
I love it, man.
And so it's a lot of fun.
For sure. So let's talk about, why we brought you on here. You are the Big Sky Conference tournament champions. Yep. You're going to the big dance. I mean, since we're covering Eastern Washington, Rusty and I mean, it feels like we're a part of it. We're going to the dance too. Just we got more stuff to just talk about. So thank you. Man. You gave us more content.
You guys now, like you got a podcast. Our guys are figuring out how to listen to it. Let's hear what Tanner's talking about. I mean, it really made our guys feel good this year.
That's cool.
Sometimes we don't get the coverage, we think we should be getting. No one ever does. Okay. But when they're able to see on Twitter and hear from you guys and you guys ask them to be on their, podcast and you giving shouts out to their moms and things, that's big time, man. And that's something that, it doesn't go unnoticed. It doesn't. And our guys respect the heck out of you guys, our coaching staff. Rusty, I know, was on a hiatus. He had to do his job. We get it. We know, but it's one of those things where we understand. But the coverage you guys gave us this year and the coverage we got from the spokesman was huge for our guys. I mean, it made them have a little bit more sense of pride. And there was things going on Twitter that, was actually, saying good stuff about them. Like, we're better than the other people. Sometimes people don't tweet that and people don't, we can't say that. No, you can say that. We're good.
Oh, yeah.
I tell the guys.
I'll say that. I have no choice.
Yeah, I tell them all the time, you can say you're good. It's okay. You worked hard. And it's okay sometimes to say you're good at something. It's not all, I tell Tanner, you don't have to be the nicest guy in the room all the time just because you're the biggest guy. You don't got to be the nicest.
Yeah.
And he's picked that up pretty smoothly this year.
Yeah, for sure. You can see the attitude on the court. Yeah.
He's come out and it's been great to see these guys mature. It's been great to see them get better as the year goes along. But the best part about it for me was just seeing how close they became. 1 through 14 were so tight, and the coaching staff were so tight. They're in our offices constantly. The assistant coaches' offices, but they're always in their offices constantly. They don't come to my office anymore except to say hi and bye, and they'll get out of there. Coach Legs calls you in the office. Oh no, what happened?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to see what's going on, guys. How's it going? Who's the new girlfriend?
Yeah.
They don't talk to me about nothing anymore. So, but it's a lot of fun, man. It's just been awesome to see how they've grown together. And this is a team they'll never forget. It's a season they'll never forget. Absolutely. You can't tell me who won the 2012 Final Four, but you'll be able to say who was you were in this tournament and who won it because it's an unprecedented year.
Yeah,
and it's a crazy season that'll never be repeated, I hope, ever again in sports history. This year is going to be a standoff. 2020 and a little bit of 2021 is going to be a year that no one's going to ever forget. Just for all the loss, the things that happened socially, the things that it's going to be a year no one will forget. We'll be talked about when they're 40 years old, they're going to be telling their grandkids or their children, this is what happened, and it's going to be in history books. This is something that's going to be awesome. Not awesome. Excuse me. Let me fix it. But it's going to be something that is going to be movies going to be made about this year. Not maybe our season, which they should, because we should be at 30 for 30.
Hey, you know what? That Eagles Power Hour, maybe we'll start that movie budget.
No, but these are things that you're going to be watching, like Pearl Harbor and all those movies that are out. This is what it's going to be like in about 40, 50 years, and they're going to be able to talk about it, what they did during this. What'd you do? And they're going to be like, well, in this time I was doing this. We made it all the way here, and we're still trying to keep playing. And so that's been what's been our motivating, point is, hey, we're in history right now. We're not making history. We're in history. We're figuring it all out, and we're going to be a part of it, at least in Eastern history, at least in Eastern Washington history. This will go down as one of the wildest years. Everything was online, but the basketball team kept playing, and football team, the sports stayed strong, kept the school right where it should be. And, we're going to come out on top of this and be better than we ever were as a whole university. And that's what's cool, because we're going to be part of bringing back that, that Eastern Washington swag and that Eastern Washington, pride, because we want to do everybody proud, and make them proud, make them proud and make them happy. And right now, a lot of people are, going through tough times, and if we could just make a couple people happy, that's what we're trying to do. And again, like, we want to go out there and play a great game on Saturday and be entertaining. We want to come out on top. We're not coming in to just lose, just because we're playing against such and such. We want to go win, and that's the great thing about our team.
For sure. Now let's talk about this team we're playing. Because Eastern Washington got a 14 seed. I think if some of those early out of conference games went a little bit our way, who knows what could have happened?
Could have got a 12. I'm telling you, we could have got a 12.
I think we could have. But
12, but
you know what's exciting about having the 14 seed? There's been some Big Sky upsets versus Blue Bloods with 14 seeds. Now we're going to talk a little bit about Weber State. They beat Michigan State one year. They beat North Carolina one year. I mean, those are Blue Bloods. And guess what? We're a 14 seed. Another Big Sky team's coming in there. We are playing probably the Blue Blood in Kansas. I mean, what are you doing to prep for this game? Because right now you're trapped in a room. Like, you can't leave the room. What are we doing this whole week to prep for this thing?
Well, they actually let us out. We wouldn't practice. We passed our couple tests that we needed to pass, which is nerve-wracking in itself, okay? Yeah. I've been so nerve-wracking about tests since high school, okay? It's when you go into a test in high school, you're not prepared, and your heart starts beating fast, and you try to figure out, and then you just say, you know what, there's the answers. That's what it feels like. You have obviously you have control, but you don't know what's going to happen. You can pick up the virus by just pushing a button, I guess. They give you all these things. But no, it's great to be able to go in and play one of these teams. I feel like as a program and as a coaching staff, we've been scheduling games like this since I've been the head coach. We've been scheduling these games, Yeah. Kim's first game as a starter was against Syracuse in the Carrier Dome. I got to coach against Jim Boeheim. That's awesome. Like, that's big time. Second game is against Oregon and Bobo and that whole team. And it's just like, man, and we do it year after year after year. Like, this year we go and play our schedule. Last year we go and play a schedule. And so it's the year before that we're playing Stanford, we're playing UW, and this is UW with, Big Boy Perkins and the other kid. The UW that almost wins the league. And so we're playing. These guys have been playing. A lot of these guys have played as freshmen and sophomores. These types of teams. So now, have they been as good as Kansas? Probably not. Are they as noticeable as Kansas? Syracuse maybe, but probably not. Kansas is Kansas. It's Naismith. It's all that. It goes into that. And it's Kansas, and you're going to go out there, and we're going to be in our Eastern Washington uniforms, and they're going to be in their Kansas uniforms. And this is what I tell the guys all the time. I said, did you wake up as a freshman in high school saying, I'm going to Eastern Washington? Nah. You woke up saying, I'm going to UW. I'm going to go to Gonzaga. I'm going to go to UCLA. We recruited you here. I didn't wake up thinking, oh, I cannot wait to be the coach of Eastern Washington. It's going to be great. When I started my coaching career, I was thinking, man, I'm going to be the next coach at USC. I'm going to be this, that, and the other. And then you fall in love with the place. And, I fell in love with Eastern, and so did our players. And, you get recruited here. Now they love being here. Now we're getting guys calling us wanting to come here.
That's a
whole new thing. Oh,
Younger Groves.
That kid, the kid you're talking about, I don't know who you're talking about, but one of those kids you're talking about in that sentence, is a sibling to two of the players we have, is a really good basketball player. I think we might be his first official, trying to get him to join his brothers one day. So, but it's been awesome. It's been great. We get an opportunity to play against one of the best teams in the country now. To get prepared for that, I tell our guys, just like I would tell them if we're going to go play Idaho State, play your best game. Your next game is your most important game of the season. And it is, because I tell them, they think I'm crazy, but I'm like, we're playing, College of Idaho. This is the biggest game of the year because it's our next game, and you got to take it that way. And you got to take every game the same. Now, is it human nature? You're not going to take College of Idaho like Kansas? Of course. Same with the coaches. We're not either, but
right.
We're going to take that same mentality. We want to go out and play our best game. And that's what we're going to plan on doing. We're going to let it fly. We're going to be loose. We're going to be the same guys we always are. I'm not going to change, my routine because we're playing against, Kansas and Bill Self. I'm not going to. I'm going to be who we are. I mean, that's if you play who you are and be who you are, and you play your best game and you win, you feel great. You feel amazing. If you're who you are and you do everything you're supposed to do and you lose, you can put your head on your pillow and be proud that you gave everything you have. And I think our guys have done that every game, and that's not going to change playing against Kansas. Will they be nervous? Yes, I'm nervous today. I haven't slept. I'm thinking about the game every day all day. I'm pretty sure they're doing the same thing. They're playing Kansas in front of all the country. Everybody watches this tournament. It's the most watched thing on TV. And it's just not basketball fans. It's every fan. Everybody. Yeah. These brackets is big time. You can't tell me people don't know what a bracket is. You know what I'm saying? So have you filled out a bracket? Yes. I've been filling out brackets since I was in 4th grade. My Zola's going to fill out a bracket. She's 4 years old. She's going to be starting to fill out brackets. My nieces and nephews were filling out before I was even a coach, before I even was a player, filling out brackets. And it's the most watched sporting event. It's one of the most watched things on TV. And they're playing in it. They're part of it. And that's something that they'll never forget. We've only done it 3 times in our school history. And so, again, this is something that they'll never forget. And they're going to go out and give it their all. And they don't want to leave here or say that they didn't give it their all, because you never know when you get to that another opportunity to be here. So every coach turning over every nook and cranny to try to figure out how we can compete, and every player is getting prepared that however they get prepared for the game. We're not going to do anything too much different, except for maybe quarantining a little bit more than we've ever had to, and
just in case.
Exactly, and it's just so many different things, and it's surreal moments right now. But I'm thinking of it like this is something I told our guys, would you rather be here or getting on a private jet going to Cheney?
Absolutely.
I'd rather be here, Coach. I'd rather be here. So they're excited about it. It's a lot of fun. I can't wait to finally throw the ball up. I wish we were doing it sooner, but we're going to soak all this in. I have the guys taking pictures of the courts. I say you be in awe of the NCAA tournament. Do it, because you never know when you'll be back. But when the game starts on Saturday, don't be in awe of your opponent. Don't. Just go out and play them. And you could be in awe after the game when you're watching, like Cody Benzel sends me some video of Bol said, "Thanks for making me guard this guy, Coach. Appreciate that." But at the time, Cody, you can guard him. I was giving him some false confidence, but you can guard him, Cody. He's 7'1". You got this. Non-athletic shooter, you got it, Cody. But in time, you gotta pump all the confidence and everything you can in these young men. And I think they respect that, and I know they're going to be ready to play on Saturday against Kansas, and if we win, whoever we play next. And that's the whole thing. You want to win the game, and that's why you play.
For sure. Well, I got to say, Coach, it's been a pleasure. I know, you've already been in Indianapolis for a couple of days. You're not sleeping. I don't want to take up too much of your time. And I just appreciate you coming during the week of March Madness. I don't know how many coaches are going to go, help support their local podcast team when they're getting ready to play the biggest game of their lives. I got to say, thank you, Coach.
Yeah.
You have all of Cheney, even like Gonzaga fans, they're rooting for us. It's pretty cool to see the camaraderie we have in our community all across, even throughout the whole Big Sky. Like I said, those podcast guys, all of them are congratulating Eastern. All of them are wishing you luck. They're all rooting for you. So, Coach, I don't have anything else from you. I just want to say thank you. Go give them hell. Let's go. Let's get this dub.
Look, man,
Let it fly, baby.
I appreciate it, man. And those for you guys in the podcast community, man, you keep the games fun. You giving us information. I don't know if the other coaches use it. I listen to all you guys, and so that's awesome. That's the best part. I listen to you guys more, obviously, because
I hope
I just
so.
put you guys on, and somebody was asking me about basketball and sport, in the state of Washington. I said, well, the east side of the state rules basketball. I mean,
It does.
that's what it is, and I could say that because we're with the number one team, so we're chilling. we're living with them boys. So, but no, thank you for having me. I'm always going to support you guys. You got to support the people that support you, and you've done it the whole year. I know the coaching staff appreciates it. I know my players do for sure. I mean, you brought Tanner on the podcast, and he the next day was happy as a clown. I mean, he was so happy about it, and so. Those things are great, man. And these are things that you see other schools be able to do and do certain things and get guys, and you putting them out there and putting them in the public eye is huge. I want my guys to be out there. I don't mind if it's a freshman, sophomore. I think they're well respected. They're well mannered. They handle business, and I really appreciate what you guys have done for them this year because it's something that they appreciate. I know that their family likes to listen to them talk, and I know that other fans like to listen to them. And being able to do that for them this year was huge. And we haven't, and the first couple of years of me being a head coach, haven't had that same, hey, look at what we've done. And I'm not a guy, neither is my staff, and I don't want to be the guys that say, hey, let's go put this out there. And
right.
I'll retweet it and like it and all that stuff, but it's sometimes hard to go put stuff out there about yourself and your team, and because we feel that, hey, somebody should be noticing this. We're pretty good right now, and I appreciate everything you've done. It's been awesome, man. You're top of the line, you're first class, and we appreciate it.
No, we appreciate you. So, tell the listeners where they can find you, follow you, and where can we watch this game this weekend? What time is it? I know I already have it in front of me, but for any listeners not watching.
You tell them where the game. I know we play at 1:15 your guys' time. Steve Lavin, old UCLA coach, I know is doing the play-by-play. So he's going to give us a lot of love. I know he better. I'm going to give him a call. He's going to give us a lot of love. He was at one of them Blue Bloods, but he started off like us. I got my Twitter account. I think it's Coach Legs. Oh, Coach Legans Coach Legans at Coach Legans is my Twitter account. And you can follow us there. And you can follow Eastern Men's Basketball, EWU, at EWU Men's Basketball. And follow all our coaches, follow our players. They're great follows, man. Trust me. I think they do more Instagram. I'm more of a Twitter guy, but they all do. All the young guys do Instagram. So just make sure you guys come follow our team. These are great guys. It's not bad content. They say funny stuff. It's not like you're gonna be displeased.
Right.
What you read from our guys. It's not. You ain't got no quotes of rap music or no quotes of country music, no quotes of this. It's just them having a good time. I've talked to them about that too because they are in the public eye. And so let me let you go because I could talk all night about our team. So I appreciate you having me. I don't mind if you have me again. If we get to the next round, you'll hear from me on Sunday. We can definitely catch up on Sunday.
Yeah, let's do it. Maybe recap show no matter what.
Yeah. For sure, I have no problem with that. Again, we'll be headed. We'll either be here, or headed home. So let's hope we're here because I want some more of this good room service.
Perfect. Well, good luck, and it's been a pleasure. You have a great rest of the day, Coach Legs.
Thank you. See you guys, man.
Bye.
Have a good one.